Hello, Colleen here. Oh, it's almost 11 o'clock at night and I'm experimenting. This is my fake fireplace, which I currently have set to look like a nice fire, but it's not putting out any heat. I think that's kind of cool. I'm not sure how often I would want to see a fire without feeling the warmth of it, but I don't really want to feel the warmth of it right now, and I'm just experimenting. So here's a remote, which I don't necessarily fully understand, but top button is on and off. The next one is what the flame looks like. The next one is how much heat it puts out. And I'm not sure about the other ones. But anyway, that's kind of neat. I really don't want to play with heat. It's plenty warm right now. So I'm playing with the flame button. There we go. Cool, huh? Big fire. Not so big. Okay, I like that. Oh, I guess this button is some kind of a timer. And this one, I'm not sure. Honestly, it's an up-down arrow. I don't actually recognize that that's doing anything. But anyway, sorry, I'm hitting this with my foot. The main thing I really wanted to talk about today is the upcoming election, which I'm pretty sure is going to have very little effect on my day-to-day life in Mexico. But I'm really concerned with recent storms and what's going on with, FEMA and all that. So I did want to talk to whoever might pay attention about preparedness for the upcoming election. That's going to happen, I don't know, November 5th or so. 2 weeks away. 2 weeks from today. And somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, whatever's going to happen after results are announced, however many days that might take. And inauguration of the new president would be 2 months later. And so, there is expected chaos no matter who wins. I suppose the flavor of the Chaos, you know, could vary a bit. So I just wanted to talk about like preparedness for this imminent thing, which depending on where you are is going to affect you differently. Like I said, I don't expect it to affect me here at all. I could be wrong. But if you don't already have basic prepper, like, you know, food stockpile and some bottled water and such, I want to encourage you to get into that in a big hurry. Between election day and inauguration day is like 2 months. I think that chaos could last more than 2 months. So on a conservative estimate, I would say 3 months. And I just wanted to share my best advice. And here it goes. Start with this. Yeah. That is the Walmart. Here we go. Oh, nope. I need to tighten this thing. I'm experimenting. Pardon me. Okay. So 4-pack. Great value tuna in water. It doesn't like that angle. Sorry. Okay. Chunk light tuna and water. 4-pack. Great value. That comes from Walmart. Aldi has a similar product at a similar price. There are people who live on carnivore diet. If money is tight or space is tight, and you need to live for like 3 months on very little, proteins are required. You need water and you need proteins, and the rest is fluff. Okay? So this stuff costs 92 cents per can. So you could buy like 25 of these 4-packs for under $100. And I'm going to show you, like I'm not making it up. 4 servings per container. 1 can drained. 120 calories. Total fat, almost nothing. 10% of your sodium. 3 grams of carbohydrate. That's interesting. I really didn't realize that. But importantly, 24 grams of protein per can. So an adult needs about 50 grams of protein minimum per day. So 2 cans per day at 92 cents per can, current price in San Diego. So, what is that? $1.84 per day would keep you alive. Plus, you know, you need some water and some fat. There's like no fat in this. So, you know, something for fat. Next, the Great Value Chunk Chicken Breasts. Blah, blah, blah. Serving size 3 ounces, 14 servings per container. Okay, so these are some crazy numbers, kind of made up out of nothing. Three ounces. Let's see here. Okay, so each can is 12.5 ounces, right? These currently cost in San Diego $2.40 per can. Okay? Okay, so what they're calling a serving, each can has 4 times that serving. And the only important number here is the protein, 13 grams. Times 4 would be 26, 50, whatever. 53, 50, no, 55. Okay, I'm not into like figuring that out at the moment. My head's not in that. But I'm just saying, there's enough protein in 1 can of this stuff to keep you alive for a day at a cost of $2.40. Now, I do home canning, and I do can chicken. And once you bought the canner and the jars and the lids and the rings and spent your time, you can stockpile chicken breast roughly half the cost of this stuff. But you have to in order for that to be true, you have to get the chicken at a good price, ignore the value of your time, and you have to do a whole lot of it. I don't know that it's actually like makes sense financially to get into canning. Like if all you want is canned chicken, like this stuff is great for the price. $2.40 a can. Stuff is great. If I can chicken myself at the best price I can get for a skinless, boneless chicken breast, so there's no waste, I would say it's $2 a pound is the best price I can get, and $1 for the jar. So it's $3 for 1 pound, roughly, of chicken, which is approximately 2 of these cans. So instead of paying $4.80, I am paying, ignoring the cost of the canner and my time, and assuming I can get chicken at $2 a pound, I can make a pint, which is roughly a pound, for about $3. So, half price. Between now and the election, there's no time for that crap. Just get over it. The time between the election and the inauguration, which I expect will be the most, like, violent, dangerous, you might not want to leave your house time, that's roughly 60 days. And it might be, according to Jamie Raskin, another month at least beyond that, where he is promising civil war and stuff. So, 90 days. So 90 cans of this stuff will keep you alive that long. Would I want to eat nothing but this, all day, every day, 1 can per day, blah, blah, blah? No. But it will keep you alive, and you'll be fine. So what's the price of that? I think, yeah, $2.40 per day. That's the price. In San Diego. If you chose instead 2 cans of tuna to get the same amount of protein, you're at $1.84 a day instead of $2.40. Pretty similar. No big difference. If you're not diabetic, some generic macaroni and cheese. This is actually, I think that like Vons and Albertson brand, which I bought in Mexico, but this is actually, better than the bright orange stuff. But if you can get like a generic, macaroni and cheese for less than $1, and you can figure out some way to put like some milk and some kind of fat in it, and water to boil the pasta and all that jazz, that's a lot of food pretty cheap. I'm gonna mention this. People like to talk crap about ramen. I love Top Ramen. The Nissan Top Ramen is my favorite. This happens to be beef, but here's like, I got a whole bunch of the flavor packets from different ramens or whatever, because I only use about half-ish every time I make ramen. But I do like the Nissan noodles the best, and I do like their flavor packets the best. Oh, your mileage may vary. I got a bunch of these coming up. Best by November. I don't know if these changed or if I changed, but I don't like them as much as I used to. But half a can of this with 2 eggs is how I eat it. Looks like that's roughly, the numbers are weird on this, but you know, roughly 22 grams of protein plus the 2 eggs. It has some potato in it. It's very greasy, but you do need some fat in your diet. So, okay, for the whole can, 690 calories, plus I would add 4 eggs to this can over the course of 2 meals. Can't see it. There it is. $37 grams of protein plus 4 eggs would be another 28. So if you had, you know, 1 can of this and 4 eggs, that would give you all the protein you need for a day. And a whole bunch of calories. And in this case, a bunch of fat. And some carbs from the potatoes. So, I'm just saying, you know, if you don't want to be like carnivore, that has a combination of potatoes and meat in a can, which you may or may not like the taste of. Okay, so I'm trying to keep it really, really simple for anyone who might come across this video to get, like, oh, I can't even see my little fire because of my junk. There we go. Really simple, really inexpensive, short list of items. I could just about live on Top Ramen. I really like it. I add a little bit of canned chicken and a little bit of canned mixed vegetables and a whole bunch of different spices, and I prefer it over any canned soup. It doesn't taste like it came out of a can. I don't use the full flavor packet, which is too salty for me. I use about half a packet, and then I add oregano, cayenne pepper, ginger, definitely. Big fan of ginger, garlic, maybe some onion, maybe some cilantro if I have it. You know, it's not the same twice in a row. I pulled this one out of storage. It's beef. I almost never eat the beef. I prefer the chicken, but I do have a bunch of that, chicken packets in this, plus more. So I do have variety here with a very limited list of ingredients. People like to say bad things about ramen. Here we go. There's the deal. Nutrition fact. For a whole package, there's 380 calories. There's 5 of those, in this thing. 14 grams of fat. You need fat in your diet. Sodium. 1,300 milligrams if you use the whole packet. It's like 50. It's either 50 or 58, I can't really tell, percent of your daily sodium. 54 grams of carbohydrate. Not a whole lot of fiber. Less than 1 gram of sugar. And 9 grams of protein. So people like to talk about, oh, it's so bad for you. Well, that comes from the salt. But if you use half the packet, you're good. And it's pasta. Hello, it's pasta. Anyway, for the upcoming election, please have on hand enough canned chicken and canned tuna, at the very least, to last 90 days. 2 cans per day per person. 1 can per day per person. You can live on it. Do you want to live on it? No, you probably don't. But if you have some crackers or some mayonnaise or some tortillas, whatever, you can get creative with it. But I would have, well, let's not talk about me. Everyone should have enough protein, like basic protein from, these are the cheapest sources without getting complicated and spending time. You should have enough protein to get you through 90 days without leaving your house. If you can only afford 60 days, fine. You're going to have to find a way to get out of your house safely and get more somewhere in the middle of that. If you want to look at the Minneapolis riots, a la whatever that guy's name was. Like, I don't know how long that went on. You wouldn't want to be going out to the grocery store in the middle of that if you lived there. So I'm just saying, if you don't have enough money to buy at least 60 days supply of at least protein, I wouldn't worry about, you know, fluff like this or ramen or macaroni and cheese, like, unless you have extra money for that. Or maybe you already have it in your house. Great. You know, you can supplement with that. But you need 1 can of chicken per adult per day, 2 cans of tuna per adult per day to have enough protein to survive in a healthy way. And if you're diabetic or something, you'll probably get healthier if you're living on nothing but meat. People go on carnivore diet to handle health problems. So you might not like it. It might not be fun. It won't kill you. It'll probably make you healthier. But for a couple $100, you know, you could buy 100 cans of tuna, would be $92. Last you 50 days. The chicken breast, 40 cans. It's $9.58 per, so 40 cans is roughly $100. So for less than $200, you would have 50 days here and 40 days here. 90 days. Right? Less than $200. If you don't have $200 to do that before the election, like maybe you could borrow it from your mother or your cousin or your sister or your best friend and pay them back, you know, December 1st when you get paid or whatever. And I'm one of the things that preppers do that kind of makes me crazy is they're like, oh yeah, and you need to have spices, and you need to have pancake mix, and you need to have pancake syrup, and you need to have mayonnaise, and you need to have blah, 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 blah. Yeah. That's all great. That's all nice. But what you need is 50 grams of protein per day per adult. If you can't afford 50 grams of protein per day per adult, then I would say, you know, like this macaroni and cheese. This was bought in Mexico, so the label is terrible. Yeah. No easy way to get to the bottom of it, but I think it's about like 9 grams of protein times 3 servings or something in a box, which generally would cost less than $1. So it's cheap. This definitely has cheap going for it. Nine grams of protein per packet. 5 packets for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. This entire can, 37 grams protein. So you do have to add eggs to this, but it has some potatoes. And I think it used to be better than it is now. I don't know, I think it's nasty. But anyway, just trying to like keep it very simple. Short list. Do you want to eat nothing but chicken and tuna for 90 days? You probably don't. But for $200, you can live for 90 days, probably lose some weight, you know, and be fine. So, public service announcement. Okay, that's it. Bye.